Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to you. For Telesur, I'm Cody Weddle in Caracas, Venezuela. To begin, Venezuelan officials say 2 U.S. Coast Guard airplanes entered Venezuelan airspace without authorization on Friday. And the airplanes are believed to have taken off from a U.S. military base in the neighboring island of Curacao. Venezuelan Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez says Venezuelan authorities are on high alert. The incident comes as Venezuela prepares for parliamentary elections set for December 6th. The Venezuelan authorities released pictures of those aircraft. Now, the airplane models are equipped with high-capacity radars and are designed for intelligence-gathering missions. It is the 6th time that U.S. airplanes have entered Venezuelan airspace unauthorized in recent years. President Nicolas Maduro says he will raise the issue with international organizations.
We will denounce this violation to every regional and sub-regional body, UNASUR, CELAC, ALBA, and furthermore to the United Nations. All of these new actions, extraordinary and unusual provocations against Venezuela.
Thousands of Venezuelans who support the Patriotic Poll Alliance held drill elections ahead of December 6th legislative contest. The alliance organized the drill to teach people details about the electoral process and avoid some common voting mistakes. Now, the Patriotic Poll Alliance will be in the election December 6th. It is the government coalition. The main opposition coalition is the Mesa of Unidad Democrática. Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos announced the designation of a new minister in charge of post-conflict affairs. Minister Rafael Pardo will now directly advise President Santos on peace-related issues. Pardo was labor minister from 2011 to 2014 and has been part of several disarmament processes during the 1980s and 1990s. Meanwhile, in Havana, Cuba, the FARC guerrilla urged the Colombian government once again to advance negotiations regarding a bilateral ceasefire. The rebel group claims that a bilateral ceasefire is needed to improve the atmosphere in the negotiations. Early this month, the World Health Organization warned that processed meat could cause cancer. Now, some Bolivians believe they may have the answer if you're worried about getting cancer. Llama meat. Our correspondent Dimitri O'Donnell now reports from Bolivia.
Forget beef. This is what carnivores should be switching to: llama meat. Bolivia's health ministry says it's a healthier alternative to red meat, and it's becoming more popular since the World Health Organization warned that processed and red meat probably causes cancer. But in Bolivia, they've always been partial to llama, and doctors say that's for a good reason.
It has a very low fat content, so when it's consumed, it contributes less to increase the levels of cholesterol in our system.
Llamas native to the Andean region are mostly known for their soft, shaggy wool, but recently they're arguably becoming more famous for their protein-rich, low-fat meat. And suddenly llama meat is appearing on menus everywhere all over Bolivia. Traditionally, llama meat was just eaten by indigenous Bolivians since pre-Columbian times. Now, because of growing demand from both tourists and locals, many high-end restaurants have started serving the meat, and they say diners can't get enough of it. This French restaurant in La Paz says its 2 llama dishes are so popular they sometimes struggle to meet demand.
This dish is really popular more than anything by foreigners who love to taste the llama meat more than lamb.
Bolivian llama meat has become so fashionable that it's even being exported.
I know that from our producers, they're exporting it to Germany and to Europe because it's a healthy meat, right? And they export it there. It's commonly used by older people because there's low fat, there's not so much carbs in the meat.
Bolivia is hoping that this recent boom in llama is not just a flash in the pan and that consumers will continue to choose it as a healthier option to beef. But despite its many benefits, the Health Ministry still warns that, like most meats, it should be eaten in moderation. Dimitri O'Donnell, Telesur, La Paz.
Around the world, the Catalan parliament began a landmark process Monday in its attempt to secede from Spain. The parliament voted 72 to 63 to begin the independence process. The Spanish government, headed by Mariano Rajoy, has announced it will be challenging the vote in Spain's constitutional court. Eurozone finance ministers are expected to halt a €2 billion loan for Greece. Now, according to media outlets, the ministers claim that the Greek government has failed to do enough to implement austerity reforms. However, the ministers are set to meet with European Commissioner Jean-Claude Juncker before announcing their decision. Official sources report that the loan could become available within days. Election results in Myanmar show the National League for Democracy winning the majority of seats in parliament. The first results, confirmed by electoral authorities, show that the party founded by human rights activist Aung San Suu Kyi has won the majority of seats for the capital city of Yangon. Analysts predict that Kyi's party will win the elections, becoming the first democratically elected government after years of military dictatorship. The Israeli government is expected to announce a new set of measures to ease tensions with Palestinians. Now, it comes after violent incidents on Sunday in the West Bank. At least 6 Israeli citizens were attacked by Palestinians. 2 of them were then killed by Israeli security forces. The Israeli government also launched strikes on the Gaza Strip. The high tensions come as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrived in Washington to hold talks with U.S. President Barack Obama. Both heads of state will discuss a new aid package for Israel. However, Obama and Netanyahu have been distant since the U.S. president backed a landmark nuclear deal with Iran earlier this year. And riots broke out in a refugee center in the Australian Christmas Island. The riots came after one of the refugees there died. Authorities confirmed Monday the standoff between authorities and detainees. The offshore facility has been controversial, and human rights activists continue calling for its closure. The largest marathon in the Middle East was held Sunday in Lebanon. The Beirut Marathon gathered almost 40,000 athletes from across the region. The marathon featured runners carrying messages of peace and unity. Organizers say the marathon is a unique opportunity to promote the city of Beirut and to show the world that Lebanon is a peaceful nation. That's what we're covering this Monday morning here from Caracas. Plenty more on all those stories and others at our website, telesurtv.net/English. For Telesur English, I'm Cody Weddle. Have a great day. Have a great Monday. Have a great week.